while, but here we are back with Nobody's Talking Politics, a one-on-one, a refresher course, if you will.
Refresher course. Oh.
Yeah.
As we're transitioning into the new school year. Got it like that.
Now, I was in Cherry Hill, New Jersey this past weekend, and...
Sorry.
I met William Shatner and a whole bunch of other people that you probably have no idea who they are. So we have to have some good Nobody's Talking Politics because Nobody's Talking Star Trek is going to be phenomenal. And when I say phenomenal, I have Star Trek cast members, some pretty big Star Trek cast members that are going to be watching Nobody's Talking Star Trek.
Get out of here. So I just insulted all of you? I'm sorry, but I'm not a virgin.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I am.
The Mark. A lot of exciting things happening with that. You know, some of it I know you're not. Really seriously, I did a lot of networking in Cherry Hill.
I
was upstairs waiting to talk to LeVar Burton, and I didn't even realize it. I look up, and coming at me is William Shatner walking down the hall.
Wow.
And I was looking at my phone, I'm online, I look up, and here he comes, and I was like, that's William Shatner. He walks by me. The guy's 85 years old. He walks by me with an energy and a pep in his step like a 40-year-old guy.
That's great.
It was really... he was going to the men's room, so maybe he really had to go, but still, I don't know. Since this weekend, I've been talking like William Shatner with my. I got to stop this. All right, so it's all good stuff. It really is. And all right, politics. It's been a long summer. It's been a long, hot and strange summer.
Very strange. A lot of weirdo things happening.
Yeah. You mean personally or politically?
All over the map.
Which one do you want to talk about?
Let's go with the political route.
Okay. Off the top of your head, your thoughts, your first thought.
My first thought. Oh, there's so much bouncing around in my head right now because I'm thinking of, and it does have something to do with politics, but I'm thinking of Kaepernick and the whole not standing for the national anthem thing. I guess because I'm coming off a weekend, I just saw the Giants beat the Jets. I like the Jets too, but if push comes to shove, I'm a Giants fan.
Right. We will digress constantly because we haven't spoken in a while. So just.
But I think that's why my mind is fresh on football, and I was having a little debate before I came here because yes, it's Kaepernick's First Amendment right to free speech. However, if I feel like I'm paying his salary in a way because I go to football games, I, buy football merchandise, so I feel like he's working for me, and I feel disrespected as a patriotic American. That's what I'm thinking of today, right now, at this moment. I'm also thinking about the 10,000. We just had today our 10,000th Syrian refugee come into the country.
Right.
And there was a breakdown of the religion. 52 out of the 10,000 are Christians, and the rest are Muslim. 52 out of the 10,000. And we were led to believe the Christian persecution was a big reason for a lot of these refugees coming here. We were misled. To me, that is further proof that the Obama administration is trying to fundamentally transform America. So, that's where my head is at today.
It's a lot of different places.
As it usually is. I'm a woman. Hello.
Now, and you're a political woman, and oh boy. Okay.
Yes. I don't know. Did you hear what Carrie said today too? There's so much stuff today.
No.
Carrie.
Like I said, I've been at a Star Trek convention,
I'm sorry.
so I'm in a whole other world.
You still have little hearts in your eyes.
Did I mention I met William Shatner?
Yeah. Well, Carrie basically said that if the media would stop covering terroristic events and the like, then it would make his job and the administration's job easier.
Really?
Freudian slip much? Yeah. My head's all over the place. Where's your head at? William Shatner.
No, my head's coming. My head is actually in the film, very much into the film.
Right. Good, making headway, good progress.
Right, and politically, I think I'm just like sort of, there's a little bit of a deer in the headlights. Like it's shock that people actually vote or plan to vote for Hillary Clinton. And to bring Star Trek back into it, Walter Koenig is the guy who played Chekhov in the original Star Trek, and all these actors spoke, and they can't help but bring politics into it. And I mean, this is a guy that I watched growing up. Now he's 80 years old, and he's up there talking about Star Trek, and he goes, before I say anything, I have to say, it just amazes me that there are millions of people in this country that are going to vote for Donald Trump.
Doesn't it like ruin it when
Yes.
celebrities and entertainers get political?
Your
I
Chekhov
really wish
from
they
Star
wouldn't.
Trek, who said, warp factor 3, Captain, and that's what you're supposed to come here and do. And then he goes on to say how he was raised by a father who was communist, and he's essentially a communist. And he says that communism is a great idea, we just can't seem to make it work. That's what he says in the Star Trek convention.
But you paid your money to get entertained, not
Right.
to hear his thoughts on communism.
He did move on and talk about Star Trek,
Right.
but he had to do this, and there was some people who clapped, some people who groaned, some people who moaned, but it was like, why?
I know.
Why are you doing that? And the same thing can be said in reverse. If somebody else went up there and said, it's amazing to me that millions of people are voting for Hillary Clinton, a lot of people would have had the same reaction in reverse. So what's your point? That you just need to be politically relevant at 80 years old when you're... I don't get it. But I do understand that there are as many people on this side that can't stand Trump and as many people on this side that can't stand Hillary. You can't ascertain the truth in America anymore. All of this nonsense that comes out with Hillary and the emails and the criminal allegations, and there's nothing coming to the surface where America is unifying and saying, yeah, this is wrong, this is not what we want.
I think that people have that email fatigue at this point.
Right.
Now, what we've learned is that the next batch of emails, 30 of them. First of all, where are the yoga emails? Because I haven't seen one email pertain to yoga. Okay, Hillary? I'd like to see her tree pose. All right? I can do the tree pose, by the way.
I don't want to see that.
Not
yours.
I was going to say, you probably don't want to see mine either. I might be a little wobbly in these shoes. But 30 of the emails that had just been released have pertain to Benghazi.
Right.
I mean, and it's not that she just deleted them. I mean, they used bleach bit, which makes them wiped off the face of the earth.
Right.
It's like if you took your hard drive and you put it in bleach, like it would be no good. I mean, basically,
right.
Why? We know that she's hiding something, and I think that the way that they're releasing these emails in dribs and drabs, I think the average voter, not like us because we're also political nerds, right? I think the average voter is getting email fatigue, and they're like, what's the big deal about emails at this point?
Right.
Right? That's what I believe.
Unless there's something like an email that says she killed someone,
that
it's
may
almost
be
like,
common.
okay, but...
One of the emails is going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Hillary Clinton is not well, that she may indeed be suffering from Parkinson's disease. Meanwhile, you have the left. Now, we were vilified on the right for talking about Hillary's health. And now you have those on the left coming out and basically diagnosing Donald Trump with a mental disorder, which I find sickening, because if you do not have a degree in psychological science and you have not sat down with him and interviewed him and vet him personally, if you go out and you make an assertion of his mental state, you are irresponsible and you are doing a great disservice to the millions of people that suffer from mental illness, in my opinion.
And, I mean, it's not like they're saying it's a mental illness that he just acquired.
Right.
They're just saying he's mental.
Right.
And he's gone pretty far in his life being this mental person.
He's got to be the highest functioning mentally ill person I ever met. But getting back to the emails, we have been promised WikiLeaks. We have been promised an October surprise. We'll see. Could be more than one surprise. Maybe even greater than the Parkinson's. He did allude to the on Megyn Kelly's show. He did allude to the murder of Seth Rich. That was one of the aides that could have been a leak.
Right.
for the DNC, and yeah, he got shot in the back. He was robbed, but nothing was taken.
And that dies in the media. I mean, I put on Fox and I hear them talking all the time about the fact that Hillary Clinton doesn't talk about any issues. She doesn't get out. I mean, if you hear Donald Trump talk, and I want to talk to some of the people that have been on our show, that the anti-Trump people, I hear him talk about issues. He may not have the answers or the right answers, but he talks about them.
And he does a lot of policy speeches.
Right.
269 days since she's had a press conference.
That is amazing. And the people that support her don't care.
They're a bunch. I really feel like they're, I find the Hillary supporters come in two varieties. Either they feel like they have no other choice, that they have to vote for her, and they're not happy about it. Because I do know plenty of Democratic-leaning people that are not happy with Hillary Clinton. They don't like her at all. And I know some people that are planning not to vote or go third party. Or they're just the mindless sheep.
Right.
She can do no wrong. And those are the ones that I have the issue with. At least the other ones that are like, she's not the candidate for me, but I feel like my hands are tied because I like the Democratic platform better maybe than the Republican platform. Okay, at least I have some semblance of respect for those people.
Right.
But the other ones, no.
Now, on another note, it doesn't seem like Trump has said anything really stupid lately.
No, he's been great. I don't know what his new campaign manager, like, she honestly is like the tangerine tornado whisperer because she whipped him into shape.
Right.
I mean, she's amazing. I wonder if you're available, teach me how to whip people into shape like that. I'd love to know what your psychological secret is. He's great. He's on, even when he's off the teleprompter, he's on message.
Right.
I mean, sometimes, I see, what I believe is the media takes like one word that he says and they run hog wild. Like, see, if you're Donald Trump, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Right.
So when he was on Sean Hannity's town hall and he said that his position about breaking up families in America would soften somewhat, and it's an issue that needs to be studied and looked at, the media took that word soften and they're like, he's granting everyone amnesty. Right. That's not what he said. Let's see what he says tomorrow, because his big policy speech is tomorrow.
Now, how much time do we have till the election exactly?
I believe 70 days from
70
today.
days.
70. And he's gaining in the polls, which is a positive sign.
Do you think he's going to win?
Do you
think, let me ask you this, do you think something crazy is going to happen that's going to make him win?
Yes. I think that the only way he doesn't win is some form of tampering, which scares me a lot. And that's why I took like that pause to think about it. Right now, as it stands today, it's come out that 2 states have had problems with hackers going after the voting databases. Okay? We are so vulnerable. I hate the new way we vote. Those long, dorky pieces of paper, it's like a Scantron's has.
Right.
I hate that I don't have to show ID to vote, but I have to show ID. If you can hear my extra sultry tonight in my voice because of allergies, I hate that I have to show ID to get my allergy medicine, but I can just walk up and say I'm so-and-so to vote. I went to the Giants game. I had my Trump cap on proudly. I try to wear it as much as I can. And I got nothing but positive feedback.
Well, it's interesting.
Everywhere I went. And
because she doesn't talk.
Right.
And he's laid low, and a lot of the anger on Facebook has subsided. The people posting all the negative and the fighting. No, at least
honestly, I think it has to do more that it's August and people are on vacation and they're doing other things like hanging out with William Shatner,
Oh, the lucky ones.
Right. That's what I think. I mean, even I, the Politidiva, Twitter Politidiva if you like, I needed a break.
Right.
In July, like the end of July, early August, I needed a break from the madness. Like, I was getting so angry watching the media vilify a good person, because I do believe that he's a good person. He's done a lot of charity works that the public doesn't know about.
Right. Politics has more than ever become just a disgusting barrage of insults. And I think as people, you almost get tired of it. You want the candidates to come out and talk about the issues, and not do this. How many election after election are we looking at people attacking each other? But now because of social media, it's even worse. And I think the average person is just looking at it and we're sick of it.
I think Hillary Clinton has gone negative, whereas Trump has been more on the positive keel.
Yes,
as of late.
but we know he's going to have to go negative. He's going to have to come up with.
Well, I answered a survey. I don't know if you checked your email. Anybody that is registered GOP or is registered on Trump's website, you should be getting an email.
Right.
And it asked, what kind of strategy do you think? Should he employ positive, negative? Should it be equal amounts of both?
I got the same email and survey.
Yeah, right. And I said equal amounts of both.
Right.
She uses race when it's politically expedient.
Mm-hmm.
She uses gender when it's politically expedient. I ask Hillary supporters constantly, name me one bill that she wrote, that she passed when she was a senator. She was a senator for a really long time that helped anybody's lives. They can't find one. It doesn't exist. She's been a career politician for 30 years,
mm-hmm.
and she has not made a positive difference for anyone. For anyone.
I agree with you. The people that we know agree, but it's getting the other side to see that, or to make them care. And that's why I got the same survey, and
mm-hmm.
I believe I gave the same answer,
mm-hmm.
equal parts both.
Right.
But as I was putting that answer down, I'm looking at it going, it may not be the way he's got to win. Unfortunately, the way to win is to get in the ring, take the gloves off.
Right. Well, John McCain, remember, he went positive, and look at what good that's in him. That's
Right.
what actually, I believe, ended up costing him the election, is when he became too soft on Obama, didn't hit him on the points that he should have hit him on.
Right.
That and Sarah Palin. Bad job.
It seems like we're sitting here with an election that, to me, is and you obviously you get it, that it's easily solvable on the issues, because it's night and day
mm-hmm.
between right and left and
It's a
good
choice
and bad.
election.
Right, but what's going to happen is you've just got people who don't care.
No, I think his outreach to the minority community, when he got on the mic and he said, look, the poverty rates are sky high. Things aren't getting better in your communities. What do you have to lose by, I'm offering you something different.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 years. You like me? It'll be 8 years. You
Right.
know, I liked that approach, because really, what do any of us have to lose? What do any of us have to lose by having him in office for 4 years? Things could get a lot better. I don't think they could get worse. I really don't. And we have a Congress that would make sure of that. And I implore anyone, if you ever have the ability to go see him live, even if you're not a big Trump fan, go see him, because you really do get a different sense. We've seen him live several times.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time we saw him was probably the best that we've seen him. He was one of the most charming. It was reminiscent of Reagan, where
Right.
I was filled with optimism when I left. I felt good.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
you really have the sense that you can take your country back from the trajectory that it's.
When they talk
been
about
on.
Trump being negative, I don't understand that, because I
know.
do see it as a positive thing. If something's going negative in the world and you talk about that, wanting to make it positive, well, yeah, you're talking about that negative thing. That doesn't
Sure.
mean you're negative. You're
Right.
bringing it up
Mm-hmm.
because it has to be brought up.
Right.
The other side doesn't bring it up, and they'll talk, fantasy pie in the sky kind of stuff.
Well, it's Obama's legacy.
Right.
And that's why Obama is going to be campaigning for her hardcore in October. It's all he's going to do. And that better be all he's going to do. You're not closing Gitmo. That whole thing, when people want Gitmo closed,
Right.
are you kidding me? Like, terrorists are people too. Are you serious, people? Come on. That's how we get some of our best intelligence. They don't.
I know. That's
Why
the kind
do you
of
want
thing.
Gitmo closed? Come on, tell us about it. I want to know.
And that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. When I go, they just don't get it. They don't. You have a conversation with them, it's like beating your head against the wall. Why would they want that?
I don't understand it. It was one of his big campaign
If you had to
promises.
come up with a reason, if I said to you, think of a reason why you'd want to close it.
That it costs. Well, and if Trump gets in there, Trump has said, I will make it cost effective. Everything in the government costs quadruple what it should cost.
Right.
I'm going to make everything cost effective. I'm going to sort all the waste out of the government.
Are you getting these constant emails and texts asking for money?
Yes.
And I'm sure you answer each one of them by donating $100 each time, right?
No. I donated what I could afford to donate, and I can't afford to donate anymore. I mean,
Right.
I'm gonna need a GoFundMe pretty soon.
Right.
I'm gonna put one of those GoFundMes up, like for my gas money.
I need you to go fund me so that I can support Trump. And he's like, "We've raised $1 million. I'll match it and
I
write a check."
did buy some new Trump gear though. I'll
Did you?
admit, I did. They released some of the best bumper stickers, buttons, and shirts. Really, really catchy
Really?
ones that are like anti-Hillary. They're great.
Yeah,
You're
well,
gonna check
next
it out.
time you gotta.
Yeah, I got my
display them.
women for Trump, and I put up my Trump pen
That's
sign. So all those things. Yes, you're paying to get the materials, but some of it is a
Right.
donation. So I love. By the way, I love all the people. I ask them I'll ask people occasionally, like they say they want to get politically active. I'll ask them to help me with the local politicians, but they don't believe it's more important than actually the presidential race, because right now they're being very, very locked down in Trump Tower, like with who they're letting in, because there's so many crazy people trying to get in.
Right.
So they're not really requiring the volunteers that they're going to require as the election draws near in October. So I have so many people like want me to get them in, like it's like this exclusive. I can't get you in. It's not like a club. But if I ask you for help, it's more important that you help support the local politicians. Where
Sure.
I'm needed, it's where you're needed. But like we were saying before, what really bothers me is the entertainment. It like Justin Timberlake, it like ruins him for me. That he threw a party for her, a fundraiser for her. Like, I wish I would just stay out of like. I don't want to know like that's my shtick.
You know, it's
Politics.
right. It's,
But it ruins my movie career.
Exactly.
It does. There
and I
people
mean,
won't hire me. That's absolutely a fact.
we have this show, we do
Right.
this, and when we make this movie, and the movie's great,
Mhm.
and it gets legs,
Mhm.
this can actually hurt us.
Absolutely, it can.
And
I know some very famous actors that are more to the right, and don't worry, your secrets are safe with me, but they cannot comment publicly at all about politics because they will
Right.
be blackballed from the industry. And I know it's hurt me already, but I have a big mouth and I give 0 Fs. So, yeah.
yeah, no, it's true. I mean, and the ones who have come out, even like Kelsey Grammer,
Yes.
you know,
Mhm.
it took him a while to come out, and he was already
They're more the icons. Like
right.
the icons
He had
of the
already
industry.
made it, and he was
Right,
making people a lot of
exactly.
money, so they let it continue.
Right. Arnold
But-
Schwarzenegger or
Right,
like a
right.
Bruce Willis or Sylvester Stallone, like they're icons.
Right.
They're allowed to come out of the Republican closet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But people like us that are just the little guys at the moment, it could definitely hurt us moving forward.
Now, would you ever denounce Trump
Never.
to have a movie career?
Never. I'm true to who I am.
Right.
I will always be true to who I am. And there's nobody on earth that can make me change my mind as far as what I believe in for the foundation for my country.
As long as you don't hate, as long as you're not motivated by bad intentions,
Exactly.
we can all disagree. And I think that's the greatest thing about this show, and why it's unfortunate that we can't get the liberals and Democrats to come on the show. And we've talked about this, you know, ad nauseum, but being able to talk about these things is what this is about. And on a serious note, Star Trek was created as a positive vision of the future.
Mm-hmm.
Gene Roddenberry created this, and he brought, if you watch the original show, there's a Russian, there's an Asian, there's a black woman on the bridge, and there's an alien. And his
Right.
thing was all about including...
Like it would be on the TV as I was playing as a kid.
Right,
and
and I
stuff.
mean...
I was more
it's-
Planet of the Apes, though. I liked Planet of the Apes.
Right, and Star Trek had a vision of the future, which I often look at as like hope,
Mm-hmm.
because if we continue the way we're going, it's not going to bode well. So at some point, we have to wake up. We have to wake up and say, this isn't working.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing like we talk about Hillary and Trump, the concept of, you know, a negative. I think when people were running for office before the internet, before the social media, before the instant, like they look stupid saying these things, tweeting and putting, you know, it's getting silly. These are people that a president, when Kennedy was assassinated, the country wept
Yes.
together.
Right.
Everybody.
Right.
That would not happen now.
No.
And it's not even so much bipartisan. I think the country's always been bipartisan. You had Democrats, you had Republicans.
But it wasn't this divisive.
It's divisive now straight across the boards, though. How many people do you know that say, I think both of these candidates are horrible?
Yes.
And they might be right.
Right.
Like, I like Donald Trump as a individual, as a character. I like his ideals.
Yes.
I followed his career
Right.
when he was in real estate. I used to
I
sell real
always
estate.
liked him.
I always like him.
Right.
He's interesting. He's fascinating. I like where he stands politically. But deep in my heart, I wish there was somebody better than him.
Trump represents so many Americans right now that feel neglected, that feel used and taken advantage of. He's tapped into that anger that a lot
Right.
of people like myself feel.
Right.
I feel like he's our mouthpiece, like to try to gain the country back from the grips of these crazy liberal elites who want to be these rich fat cats. Like when people say Donald Trump doesn't relate to the middle class, it makes me laugh like Hillary does.
Right.
She's had a show for since 1990, 1990.
It's a
whatever,
silly
six.
concept, and you're right. He's probably the guy that we need now, where
Right.
Reagan wouldn't be, because people are more angry and fed up.
Believe me, Reagan's my favorite president.
Right.
But he did also come from the best generation,
Right.
and they're all gone.
Okay, this was a good refresher course to get us back out here. We're going to seek out some guests. Hopefully, reach out to that politician from Nassau County and get him on the show.
And once again, I implore anyone watching this that's more liberal-minded, I want you to come on. I'll be gentle. I promise. I'll be gentle. I want you to tell me Hillary's accomplishments. I want you to...
Let's do that. Let's make a checklist.
Yes. Try to convince me.
Okay, do that. Go ahead. Let's
Yes.
a checklist of what we're looking for from the guests who are liberal and support Hillary Clinton.
Or maybe they support Gary Johnson, or they support who? How
Let's-
could you?
Right.
But
Not-
he's out of his mind. But Jill Stein.
I know a lot of
anybody
people
else.
who are saying they want to go in that direction, but let's not come on the show to bash Trump. Let's put Trump aside for now.
Right.
Let's focus on Hillary and
why?
something
Yes.
she's done.
Right.
Why you support her.
Like, let's pretend you're trying to convince. Like, you can bring all your liberal friends. You can have like 10 of you versus us. I don't care. I just want to try to get in your mind and learn your mindset a little bit.
Right.
Which makes me a better negotiator to try to turn it the other way. But I'm serious. Like, and I know that I can't sway a lot of opinion, just like you would never be able to sway mine. But I just want to get in your mind. Like, why? There's got to be more to it than I hate her less than Trump.
Right.
There has to be more to it than that. So.
Because, as somebody once said, we talk a lot, but we're willing to listen, because when you listen, you can actually learn something.
I think Albert Einstein said that.
I
He
think I
tweeted
just
it
said
out.
it.
It's,
I
okay.
think yes, we talked about. I know I mentioned this in the earlier show, and it's almost what I think of the concept of this show. And I want to learn something. I know that you're much harder to sway.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can convince me that I'm wrong, I welcome it.
But do you know what I envision for the show, truly? When the debate is on? I want to live feed it of us all watching the debate. But it's not going to be fun if we're watching it and going, we need liberal to
right.
watch it with us. So
That's a very good idea.
I think that would be a lot of fun. I think that we all could learn something, and it would be very entertaining and probably devolve into fist fight, Win-win for everybody.
Good night.